Wisconsin Angling Outdoors. I'm just going to do my angler bio video today. First I'm going to start off with my strengths. I have three main strengths, I'd say, and the first one is going to be fishing Texas rigs, whether it be a finesse Texas rig or a heavier Texas rig. I can do it all, and I truly firmly believe that that is my best technique, and I can boat more fish than anybody I know with a Texas rig, to be honest. I don't know if it's the way that I fish it or if I have patience with it and try different baits, dragging them different ways, different colors. I don't know, but I just seem to do very well on a Texas rig, and like I said, I firmly believe that I'm one of the best Texas rig fishermen around this area. Second's going to be the drop shot. Drop shot and I do very well, whether it be deep water, bed fishing, or just fishing it around grass edges and 10 feet of water. I'm very, very skilled when it comes to fishing the drop shot. There's so many different ways to fish it, so many different ways to present that bait, and I firmly believe too that bait and just whole setup in general has just caught me so many fish that I believe I firmly excel in that, and that's my second strength. My third strength is probably not my most favorite way to fish, but I'm really good at fishing a jig, whether it be your football jig or a finesse jig or a swim jig. I don't know, I just feel like it's, fishing a jig and crawling a jig on the bottom. It's just like fishing a Texas rig, so they kind of go hand in hand with each other. And, swim jigs, when I used to be really big into the spinnerbait thing, I was pretty good, and then I switched over to swim jigs and chatterbaits and stuff like that, and I do very well on those as well. Bringing out big fish from docks, cover, grass, lines, basically anything. My weakness is going to be deep cranking. Just throwing like those bomber fat-free shads in deep water, trying to target ledges. I really found this out being my weakness when I was up fishing smallmouth in Lake Michigan up in Door County. Trying to crank ledges in like 15 feet of water. I could just not seem to have the patience where I knew I could be crawling that jig on the bottom instead of just chuck and wind. And a lot of times, you can catch fish on the jig, but once they get going on a crankbait like that, it's hard to catch up with somebody that's been fishing that crankbait and just really burn that crankbait with a jig or something like that. My favorite fish to catch out of the two species of bass, I love catching largemouth, but man, there is nothing like catching a giant 5-pound monster smallie. It just gets your heart pumping more than a largemouth. You get a bigger largemouth, yes, they do fight just hard, just like any other fish does. But the giant smallies know that they are giant, and they fight all the time like they're giant. Even if it's a little 14-inch smallie, those things fight hard, whether it be in a river system or just in a lake like Michigan. It doesn't matter what fisheries. Smallies they're fight hard fish, and they never give up until you get your hands around them, and even then, smallies really never give up. Rod and reel preference. Now, I'm just going to be switching over this season, but last season I really acquired a taste for Shimano reels because I feel that they are smoothest, that they are the best casting, and that they are very durable, because I've seen many a Curado B's and the beginning E series that are still around today, and a lot of my club members still are fishing with those reels in their hands, and they're truly just butter smooth, awesome casting, durable, bulletproof reels. Rods, I'm going to be going with Trey Kistler and his Kistler rods. He's probably going to start off with some KLXs. I'm going to actually be ordering 3 once I get going here. After school's out in 2 days, I'll be done with my senior year of high school. But I'm going to be ordering 3 Trey Kistler rods, and I've fished with them before. I borrowed them from a friend, and they're just super killer sensitive rods. Line preference, I was kind of a Suffix man. I really do like the Suffix braid, whether it be 832 or Performance. I'll always stay true to that. I'm not much of a Power Pro fan, but fluorocarbon, you know, depending on what I'm throwing, if I'm throwing like drop shots, I'm usually using Seaguar 8-pound Invisex, or if I'm throwing just regular Texas rigs, I'll either use like 15 pound Invisex or, you know, 12-pound Invisex, just depending. And sometimes I bring out the AbrazeX and stuff like that. I just really like it. I feel like that Seaguar line gives you a good feel, and even their cheap fluorocarbon like the Red Label, it's pretty durable stuff, and it, you know, it gives you some good feel. Bait preference, I mean, it's really hard to say, but you know, you just got to be talking about which baits. Texas rigging baits, I kind of really like the new Havoc lines, like the Rocket Craws, your Pit Bosses, your Juice Worms. Drop shot baits, I also kind of like the Havoc Bottom Hopper. I've seemed to have been catching some decent fish on that bait this year, so I'm going to stick with that. But the Zoom Z-Drop, that thing is one killer drop shot bait when it comes to big smallies and even some largemouth. RoboWorm, I was slaughtering bedfish on RoboWorms this year in Pro Blue Neon. I'll definitely be going back to them. Again, you know, it just depends on what bait it is, what you're fishing for, just like any other situation in bass fishing. And then crankbaits, hard baits in general. I'm actually kind of a big fan of Spro. Even since fishing their frog, now I got their big 6-inch BBZ1. Those things are durable. Those are very nice swim baits to have for 20 bucks. I know it sounds like a lot for a swim bait, but it is super durable, and they have amazing action on the top water. I also like the John Crews, you know, the little 3-foot diving square bills, the computer shipboard lip. Those are pretty nice, and as well as the Mike McClellan stick. I feel that those are very good jerk baits, and they cast very well, and they have awesome slashing action and still subtle slashing action, so you're not going to be spooking fish and stuff like that. Top water, just about anything. I like the classic head-on stuff, you know, the head-on, the Chuggin Spooks, and you know, all the Zara Spook series and stuff like that. But I found a bait last year, and I picked a couple up this season, just the other day at Bass Pro, and that's the River to Sea Rover. Last fall I was fishing that bait, and man, the bass just pounded it like it was like there was no competition. My buddy was fishing a Zara Spook next to me, and he was catching about half the amount of bass that I was. So I like the River to Sea Rovers very much. That's about it for my angler bio. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. This is basically all about me as fishing. Just representing myself to my past subscribers and to the new subscribers of this channel, Wisconsin Angling Outdoors. This has been Clay. Hope you guys enjoyed today's episode, and I'll see you guys later.